Finally, here we are in Team 10. And as promised, here we will integrate all the other 9 teams, but also all your other decisions you ever make about your courses into what we call a curriculum. And as you will experience, the concept of curriculum is rather complex. It's used by different people in different ways. That's why we initially, in the Advanced Organizer, focus on looking for a useful operational definition of what we understand as what a curriculum is. And that's why we ask you to look at 2 rather advertising video clips of 2 universities that tell what their curriculum is like. And this will help you to define what is a defining characteristic of a curriculum and what are principles that are being put forward to define a curriculum. Once we did this, we will focus on a way to develop our curriculum. Okay. And we will do that in a main activity where we make step-by-step decisions. And the first focus is on decisions in relation to our learning objectives. Because as we learned from Bloom's taxonomy, the revised version, we learned that an objective always consists of 2 parts. It consists of a content part that is mostly covered by your materials, the exercises, the reading, the examples you use, versus the behavior we want to invoke in our students. And that's in fact what we look at when we define the core elements of a curriculum. It's what are the typical interactive learning strategies that we will invoke in a systematic way to invoke the behavior we want in our learning activities. Especially when you chain, in fact, these decisions in relation to all the learning objectives in your course, you will see that you get, in fact, a meso to a macro perspective on your systematic way to define a curriculum, where consistently you opt for the same kind of behavior you invoke in students to make them interactive and to involve them in cognitive processing to attain the learning objectives, so to show the behavior in relation to content you put forwards. But this still raises the question about what is the backbone, what is the defining principle behind, in fact, the consecutive activities we put forwards for each topic or theme or chapter in a course. Well, this brings us to the next big decision, and that's a decision about this backbone principle. And here you will see that we go back to these big ideas about problem-based learning, project-based learning, competence-based curricula, scientific curricula, research-based learning. And we will ask you to explore a number of examples of such curricula to see what this really means. And you will see that we will bring you, in fact, to a decision about this backbone principle. And we do that in a thorough way by introducing an example, what we call research-based learning. In research-based learning, the backbone principle is the research cycle. So this means that in every consecutive step, theme, topic we handle in a course, in a curriculum, that we will always focus on activities that are relevant in view of developing these research competences, despite the fact that the focus of our course could be on foundation knowledge. But at the same time, we will use, in fact, the foundation knowledge to introduce this research perspective. Others would do that with problems or cases or projects. Next, we will show you how you then, once you define this backbone principle, in this case here, research-based learning with a research cycle, how you can link the research steps to learning outcomes, to topics in your course, and how this looks in a concrete way on, for instance, an online course. We also exemplify this with a brief description of what we call a blueprint, because a blueprint is what we aim at as an outcome of this activity. We want you, as part of the portfolio activity, to develop such a complete blueprint. But don't do this alone, because in practice, we never define a curriculum structure alone. It's something you do as a team, because it defines the way your curriculum will taste for your students. It will also define resources you need, infrastructure you need, resources that students need consistently, not only in one course, but in many courses. So please download the portfolio form and start working together in making decisions about micro-level interactive learning activities, but especially in view of your backbone structure for the blueprint of your curriculum. Good luck.